Welcome to the Leverage Podcast, Episode 3. My name is Brett Ingram, your host, and today I want to talk to you about something that's really important to business owners. And it's something I hear talked about quite a bit, but I hear a lot of different and wrong ideas about it. And that is multitasking. Now, there are basically two types of multitasking that I want to talk about because they are different. And there are different implications for each one depending on what you're doing. So first of all, I want to talk about just the standard tasking itself, multitasking. So you have a number of things to do today, and what you decide to do is, well, I'll start doing this and I'll start doing that. So I'm kind of like reading my emails, but I'm also listening to this audio thing that I wanted to learn about. And then I'm, checking my stats on this and composing that, or whatever the case is, you're trying to do a lot of things at one time. And the other kind is project-based multitasking. So you have a product that you want to launch. You have a new, business line or whatever it is. And so in your business, no matter what industry you're in, there are things that you need to do for your business. You have to have product lines, or you have to have different things that you're offering, services or whatever. And so there are larger project-based things where maybe you're designing some new widget, and that's going to be your new thing. So you've got 3 different projects in development. Now, first off, the idea of multitasking from concept is excellent. It's really important to get a lot of stuff done in business. If you've been in business any amount of time, then you already know. Time really is money. It's an old cliche, but at the same time, especially in the internet world where I live, the faster you can get stuff done, no question about it, it's so much better and really important, because otherwise you can get left behind. But the problem with it is the way most people go about it or tell you to go about it is dead wrong. And here's what I mean. If you are, let's break it down and let's start with just the task side of it. So let's say that you have multi-tasks to do. And so we can even extend this into our personal lives, because oftentimes, especially as business owners, we are doing things at home, or we're doing things where sort of the boundaries cross. We're not always in the office, or not always doing business when it should be business, and personal when it should be personal. So let's take a couple examples. Let's say you have a child that's playing a sport, and so you say, well, you know what, I'm going to bring my work with me, and I'll do these, I'll write out this new prospectus, or I'll create this proposal while Johnny plays basketball. The problem with it is, and what you'll find is, ultimately, not only does the proposal or the project that you're working on take you longer, but you honestly probably didn't see as much of Johnny's basketball game as maybe he wanted you to, or you wanted to. Now, in some cases, if that's what's right for you, fine. But I'm going to tell you that I think it's counterproductive. I honestly think it's better to go to Johnny's game, watch his game, and then when you're done and you get home, hey, Johnny, now I need you to go read a book or whatever, because I have to go and I have to get this thing done. Because what it allows you to do is be totally in the moment and focus on what is going on. And I'll give you another example. I know this happens to me all the time, because I'm guilty of it. We all want to get stuff done, but maybe you've had this experience. So I'm sitting on the couch and I'm watching TV, and my family will watch a few things together. So we all have our own favorite shows or sports or whatever, but we watch a few shows together. One of the shows that we watch together is Survivor, and another one is Amazing Race. We find those really compelling, even though they've been on for years. So basically, I'm sitting there and I've got my laptop with me because I'm trying to get some work done. And, I'm watching the show, I'm listening, I'm looking down at my work. And what I find is the hour goes by, and then I can't totally remember everything that happened. So I'm talking to my wife about it or whatever, and she'll say, oh, can you believe that, this person said that, or, he did that. And I don't really remember it because I wasn't totally in the moment. I wasn't totally focused on it. Now, not that you have to focus on TV. Maybe you don't need to. But what I'm trying to get at here is that actually you'll get more done in less time If I do my work and I just focus for the 20 minutes and I tell everybody I need total quiet, I go to my office and I do some work, I can bang it out in 20 minutes. Whereas if I'm sitting in front of the TV watching an hour-long show with it, I'm actually going to take the whole hour to get it, and it might not even be as good. So my point with the multitasking is this. It doesn't mean it's bad to do it, but don't rely on that as an idea to get things done. When you need to get things done, really done, or you need to get them done really well, your high priority stuff, don't do in a multitasking way. Now, let's talk a little bit and let's switch gears and let's talk a little bit about projects and where this comes in, because this is even more dangerous. Now, projects, I'll share, in my business, what I do is I create products and then I launch them. And so a lot of it is software, it's online, it's digital products. And speed is really important, but you also always want to have something in the pipeline, which makes total sense. No matter what business you're in, you always want to be thinking ahead. And that's a good idea. However, here's where the problem comes in. If you do steps 1 through 3, say you have a 10-step process where you need to do this in order to launch a new product. If you do steps 1, 2, and 3 on project A, and then you switch to project B and you do step 1, and then you switch to project C and you do step 1 and 2, and then you come back to A, you have to do 4, 5, and 6. What happens is you have the illusion of comfort because you're getting a lot done. You've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline, right? And that's exciting, and you know that this is all going to pay off. The problem is nothing is getting done fast enough. So project A, which if you just did start to finish, say it would take you 2 months, or say it would take you a month, takes you 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. And if project A is something that's revenue generating, like it's a product line or a new service that you want to roll out, and you don't do it, then you're not generating any revenue in that whole period of time, or leads, or whatever the purpose of it is. If it's branding, if it's leads, if it's revenue, you're not getting any of that until it's done. And then project B and project C are taking longer too. Sure, you've got them in the pipeline, but they're not getting any closer to getting done either. My advice is this. If you want to do 3 projects at once, or 10 projects or whatever, I think that's great. But you want to focus on your highest priority project, the thing that you can get done and get out the fastest. And you want to get that done, the biggest impact project. Any additional projects, what you want to do is spend the time it takes to scope them out, spec out what needs to be done, and then you want to delegate or outsource. So if you have employees, you want to give it to the employees and say, listen, I need you to take project 2 or project B through steps 1, 2, and 3 over the next month, okay? Because or over the next 2 weeks. And then you give project C to somebody else. Have each person or each individual, task broken up so no one is in that same situation. Now, if you don't have employees, you can actually outsource it. You can have other people do the work for you. And that's a really effective way to do it too. I do this with a lot of my stuff. And, it's really effective because you can use people on a project basis, and you can use as many as you need. So if you have 3 different projects that you want to get them all done, because you know that the faster you get them done, the more money you're going to make, or the bigger you're going to grow your business, that's great. But make sure that you focus on the one that's core to what you need to do. Get that done and then move on to the next. And it's so counterintuitive to the way that we're taught to work. Everybody says, get a lot of balls in the air and juggle them. But the truth of the matter is, and the fact of the matter is, if you look at the research and you do your own studies and check your own progress on this, and do it as a fun game if you want, where you try something in one way and then you try something with the multitasking way, and I think you'll find that you get the job done that you're focused on better and faster done. And then you can move on to the other things and knock those out in a really good fashion as well. And it creates a culture for your company and in your business of achievement, of success, of progress, as opposed to a million different projects, tons of bureaucracy, nothing's getting done. There's no revenue coming in. It's totally stressful. That isn't the place that you want to be for your business. And so that's my recommendation. in terms of, multitasking and trying to get too many things done at once. I know we're always taught to do it, and we talk a lot about it, but the best way to give yourself a peace of mind that everything is going to get done is to delegate, is to outsource, and to spec it out completely. Okay, if you take the 3 projects that need to be done and you take the time to slow it down and write out all the things that need to be done for these 3 projects, then you've broken it into steps. You can take those steps and you can delegate, you can outsource those individual steps. And that is going to go a long, long way in terms of getting you where you want to be in your business and getting more results faster, because that's ultimately what it's all about as an entrepreneur and as a business owner. And this goes even if you're just starting out in business. I've seen a lot of entrepreneurs do this as well, where what they do is they've got 100 different things that they want to do or ideas they want to investigate. So they start doing tons of different, like a little bit here and a little bit there, pick something, focus on it, do it, and then move on to the next thing. And you'll find that you're a ton more productive, a ton more successful. You'll make a lot more money also, which, is never a bad thing. So, so that is really, a golden nugget in terms of multitasking. So let me know how you feel. Leave your comments. Talk to me about it. Share what struggles, what challenges, what questions you have. And so we can talk about those on upcoming episodes of the Levrige Show. This is Brett.